One of the hardest decisions you're ever going to have to make in your relationship is to decide if you're going to work harder or is it just time to leave. I've been faced with this decision a few times, and I'm telling you, in my opinion, it's never black and white. Oftentimes, we're holding on to a part of the relationship that we think that this person has the potential to change. This person, this relationship has the potential. But it's like, when do you just stop giving up on the potential and face what the reality is? Like, this is who your partner is, this is who your partner has consistently shown you to be. Or oftentimes we're holding on to a relationship because we don't want to deal with the inevitable, the heartbreak, the sadness, the tears, the loneliness. First off, if there's cheating or any type of abuse in the relationship, the answer is you should absolutely leave the relationship. But please, always when you make those decisions to end the relationship, especially when there's abuse, y'all do so safely. So if there is no abuse in a relationship and your relationship actually is pretty healthy, but you have some things that you two of you are just not connecting on, then y'all let's walk through coming up with a decision. Do you stay or do you go? I think the biggest factor that you need to consider is, did you do your part? I'm not saying did you play a part, but did you do your part in the relationship? I'm starting with you as an individual. I can't control my partner. You can't control your partner either, but you can control the actions that you make and have made in the relationship thus far. You're not going to be able to meet 100% of your partner's needs. That's why it's important to be, before you get into these relationships, that y'all got to be 100% your damn self. You cannot expect a partner to come into your life and be 100% of everything that you need. If you need a therapist, y'all go get a daggone therapist. Your partner cannot play those roles, but there are needs in a relationship. They should be ready and willing to meet those needs. I cooked, I cleaned, I did all this. And honestly, y'all, sometimes y'all be meeting needs that were never the needs of the partner you're with. They never asked you to cook. They never asked you to clean. They never asked you to wash their dirty drawers. They never asked you for that as their needs. That's why it's you got to be very clear that you're meeting the needs of your partner. Because ultimately, you want your partner to feel valued and appreciated. Were you that to your partner? So let's say on the flip side, you did that. You address, you asked them their needs, and then you say, but you know what, V? I can't keep pouring from an empty cup. I want to meet my partner's needs, but I too have needs of my own. I'm meeting their needs, or I'm at least trying to meet their needs, but I'm not getting my needs met. Okay. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm trying to figure out, is this the relationship for me? Because I can't keep giving to somebody who isn't giving to me in return. I fully understand that. First, you cannot complain about not getting your needs met if one, you ain't clearly communicate them. You have got to clearly communicate that these are my needs in a very non attacking way. If you haven't even done that, y'all start with that. Isn't that fair that they know exactly what needs they need to be meeting of yours? Because is it fair to be sitting here deciding about ending the relationship when you never even told them what your needs are? So please make sure you at least did that. Now, I know many of you said, you know what, I have communicated in a very non attacking way. I've learned how to communicate my needs. I use I statements. I feel. I went to my partner at a proper time in a proper place. I use situational examples to say, hey, I would really like it if this, because this would make me feel a certain type of way. That's why people bring up things, because they care. When they stop bringing up things, y'all, that's because they don't care no dang on more. They tired. They have banged their head against the wall too long. They don't know how else to communicate it. They've given up. If you're feeling like that, this is where the challenges really come into play. So, doctors Gottman and Gottman, for over 50 years, y'all, they have dedicated their lives to creating and building healthy relationships, healthy marriages. They're actually world renowned for determining or predicting when a marriage is going to fail. The Gottman's four horsemen is not your partner that's standing in the way, it's these issues that might be standing in the way of your relationship. And you can't figure out what the hell it is, but it's something. Well, let's talk about these four key indicators. And one of these, or all four of these, might be impacting your relationship and preventing you from having that close, intimate bond. So the first one is criticism. Criticism? is not complaining. You have every right to bring up issues, but criticism comes when you are criticizing that person's character. Instead of saying, I thought we decided that if I cook, you're going to clean the kitchen. I was already real exhausted and I just felt like I was taken advantage of. That's a complaint. That's bringing up an issue. Damn, your ass is lazy. You done seen me cook and now your ass just gonna sit on the couch. You ain't nothing but a lazy son of a gun. Okay, that's a criticism. You are calling your partner names. You are criticizing their character. You are making an assessment about them to say they just lazy. Now they could be lazy. They could be lazy. I ain't gonna say they're not lazy. All I'm gonna just say is that's a criticism. You're saying the same thing, but in two different ways. And if you're saying it the second way, then your partner is going to react in a very negative way. It's a setup. One of the another key indicators, if you have this in your relationship, and this one is the biggest predictor that your marriage or your relationship is not going to survive. If there's contempt in the relationship, how do you get to this point of contempt? Unresolved issues. The more you just don't resolve these issues, it's going to turn into contempt. If you keep brushing those issues under the rug and those things are never resolved, you don't ever get to start back at zero. So you're starting at 10. Your temper is now on 20, 30, 40, 50 until eventually y'all bring up that issue. Your ass is ready to explode because you've already brought it up before and you brought it up before and it was never resolved. The third Gottman's key indicator that your relationship is has a high probability of not making it is defensiveness. If you're criticizing somebody, you automatically put them on the defensiveness. Now, as a leader in corporate America and having had staff for many, many years, I could sit here and tell you I've always disciplined my staff with love because if I come at them with a critical, sharp tongue, I'm immediately going to put them on the defensive side, right? So I've learned well over the last several years that no, I'm not here to criticize and criticize. You're not going to get anywhere with being hyper critical of anybody. How do you disarm that? It's you and your partner attacking the issue. Y'all should never be attacking each other. Now, the last key indicator out of the four is stonewalling. Stonewalling is they just ignoring you. It's just kind of like when you're playing hide and seek as a child, and as long as I close my eyes, nobody else can see me. It don't work like that. How are you going to resolve issues if your ass not communicating about it? If you're not even having a conversation about it, you're not going to resolve any issues. Does that mean because you have one of the four, it's an automatic, let's end this relationship? No, it doesn't. So then we go back to our original question. When do I know, should I try harder or should I just walk away? If you have truly tried to communicate and not critique, you're not arguing, you're not fighting, you're not name calling, and they're meeting you with one of those four or even all four tendencies, the odds are you already know what you need to do. And you didn't need me to tell you. The thing about relationships is it takes two people. You can't build the bridge by yourself. If you're the one giving and the other person isn't, then you know that you have to walk away from the relationship. Fighting for the relationship looks different to different people. The way I fight for a relationship, for example, if I bring up issues and say, I would really like to get this particular issue out the way, once one person says, I'm tired, I'm done, y'all, the relationship is over. Now, this is a big one, but if you find that communicating your needs, communicating your feelings is being met with anger, hostility, defensiveness on a regular basis to the point to where you are now apologizing because that person, all they heard was contempt, all they heard was attack. They didn't even hear your needs. I know that feeling. That is a very hard pill to swallow because you should never have to apologize for having feelings. You should never have to apologize for expressing your needs. That's what relationships are about, fulfilling each other's most basic needs. If I want my partner to be with me, I need to provide physical intimacy. If my partner wants me to be confiding in him, if my partner wants me to lean on him, trust in him, he's going to have to meet my emotional needs. And if those needs aren't being met, those are the most basic needs: time and attention. If your woman is asking you for time and attention, one, you should be grateful because she could be barking up somebody else's tree. If your man is asking you for physical intimacy, you should be grateful because your man still wants to be physically intimate with you. But if you find that expressing your needs turns into disagreements, turns into criticism, turns into defensiveness, turns into contempt again and again and again, I know it's draining. Your relationship is on its way out the door, but doesn't mean it has to end. If you're the only one fighting for it, then the relationship is over. I know a lot of times we prolong the ending of a relationship because we don't want to deal with the heartbreak and the sadness and the moving on and the changes and all of that. But you're going to have to. You're going to have to put your big draws on. You're going to have to suck it up and you have to move forward. Just know that there's somebody out there who will love to meet your needs. There's somebody out there who's wanting a person just like you to be in their corner. There are a lot of men out here, baby girl. There are a lot of men out here who want a woman just like you. Maybe you're giving your all to the wrong person. Then that goes for you men too as well. If you decide to end your relationship, y'all watch these two videos next. I did two videos about detaching. Getting over a relationship is not the easiest thing to do. So watch both of these videos up next to learn how to move on successfully. If you'd like a book about healing from heartbreak and going through the 5 stages of grief when a relationship ends, y'all check out my first book. It's called They Tried You Won. I'm going to link the book in the description below. Ending a relationship does not make you a failure. It never makes you a failure. Sometimes we have to pick up the pieces and move on. Sometimes we just have to end things. But you are never a failure when you put yourself first. If this is the first time to my channel, y'all, I am Vee Mindful. I'm a relationship coach and published author. Y'all, here on this channel, we talk about everything related to relationships, everything from dating all the way through divorce and even starting over after your divorce. Starting on Tuesdays, y'all, I am going to start going live on YouTube to answer y'all relationship questions. Okay, if y'all have a dating question, if y'all went on a date Saturday night and you don't know what to do, how to respond, or if you just have a question about even topics like this, once a week, I'm aiming for Tuesday. Okay, y'all got Taco Tuesday. Now we're going to have tantalizing conversations. I don't want anybody here stuck trying to figure things out. Y'all, let's work through it together.